South. So I think
there was something interesting to say about that.
Early, they weren't expected to have that 13-game win streak like they did last year.
This is the gift that God has given me to be able to help.
So then am I correct?
I'm not.
Am I correct?
you are correct.
Why blame? Why you're
I have a question for Carolyn. Carolyn, hold on. I have a question for you.
Especially going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this year.
Malibu and a diner.
these leaders of these countries.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, Saravo Broadcasting, the Doug Saravo Show. All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Shane is coming to you live from Colorado.
How you guys doing?
And this is Dougie's Political Hour. What's up, Shane?
What is happening, Mr. Saravo?
Ready to talk some politics, big guy?
Oh, yeah. We are talking today.
So, is Colorado a blue state?
It's a purple state. It used to be. It's a blue state currently, but it used to be red until Obama came in and changed it to blue. They used to vote red in Colorado. And a lot of the down by Colorado Springs, there's a lot of military bases down there, and they're conservative down there.
Yeah.
But if you get into Denver and Boulder, it gets very liberal. It's like the heart of the liberal.
Yeah, like the hardcore leftists, right?
Uh-huh. Now, Trump, get a load of this. Trump just issued an order to the Denver mayor. If he doesn't follow with Trump's deportation orders, that mayor will be fired.
Yeah, I saw that. The other day.
Yeah. So, and he stopped by Colorado when I was trying to see him at the Gaylord Rockies, like I was saying on the last episode. And there was leftists there. They were trying to protest, and they're like the people in Denver and Boulder are like anti-Trump out here.
Did they tell you why? Did they give like a certain policy, or was it because they don't like the way he talks?
The way he talks and stuff like that,
Yeah, like most people.
A lot of bullshit, but all these people, all these the Democratic Party does not cater to the working class any longer.
Yeah, it's not like the JFK days.
Yeah, like my grandfather was a Democrat, but the Democratic Party catered to the working class back then. Now it does not anymore.
Yeah, see, the thing with me is I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I care if you're anti-establishment. Like, don't focus too much on the parties. Focus on the candidates. Like, I would vote for RFK.
Yeah.
I don't care about his party. I would vote for RFK.
Yes.
RFK Jr., that is.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. People are too focused on Republican, Democrat. It's not so much the party who you identify with. It's more in the candidates, like Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat. I think she could be a great president. RFK Jr., Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't align with the party. I align with the candidates.
And what was I going to say? Since Trump has been elected, a lot of Hollywood actors and stuff are planning on exiting Hollywood. A lot of them are. Like recently, Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she moved.
Who else? Tom Hanks is out of there. who's another celebrity? So, because he's gonna kind of shake it up now
Mm-hmm.
because of, I guess they got some dirt on them.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who
We'll save that.
knows?
We'll save that for a different day. But what I want to get into, Shane, is how do we feel on Elon Musk joining the Trump administration?
Honestly, what I was recently watching was all the bullshit science researchers were doing that the government's throwing money at, and like, what are frogs different in the light than they are in the dark? And they're like sending like $10 million or $100,000 on research at that.
Yeah, they're wasting money.
They're wasting a lot of money. So this Doge, this Department of Government Efficiency, I feel as this is kind of gonna help out that. And
He's also got Vivek Ramaswamy joining the team.
yeah, and Elon Musk owns Twitter now. So and
Let's get it correct. It's X.
X. Yeah, sorry.
It's X.
So well, Trump can send out all his mean what is it? How do I call it now? Tweets and stuff.
Mean tweets, baby. Mean tweets.
Mean tweets. Now, what else? What else? And he's in the midst of thinking of buying CNN.
And MSNBC.
Yeah. So now they could make the news media a little less liberal.
Yeah, it needs to be neutral. It needs to be
Neutral, yes, a little
playing
less.
field. There's too much
Like, yeah,
one-sided.
It's so very I've noticed that with the media now. It's very
And
one-sided.
it's obvious. It's obvious the way they report, the way they speak, the way they
reporting,
say things.
The way they were doing things.
It's not real reporting. It's not. It's opinionated.
Yeah.
It's more of feelings. Cater to that audience.
And another thing that he's going to do, Donald Trump is going to do, is he's gutting these universities.
Because they brainwash everybody.
These bullshit degrees, they're going to gut that. Like if you're going to college, you're going to learn something.
Yeah,
and
get something
you're going to take an entrance exam, and then you're going to have an exit exam, and see if you actually learn something. I
agree with that. We need to, I wouldn't say defund it, but shape up the Department of Education.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, man, I think we got to bang up education, Doug. What do you think, man? What do you feel, bro?
It's got to be fixed up a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like the teachers in the schools are leaning way towards the left a lot.
Yeah, I noticed that. A lot of teachers lean left. And a lot of college-age kids today believe in the same thing. They don't think for themselves.
Yeah.
They believe police is bad. America is oppressive. Trump is a meanie. They believe the same exact thing without doing their own type of research.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like...
And that starts with the colleges. That starts with these professors brainwashing them to believe this certain thing. That, you know what, Trump is bad. Trump is a threat to democracy. No, he's not a threat to democracy. He's a threat to the establishment, which a lot of blue-collar Americans want him to do. We want him to end this whole government overreach. That's what we want
me
Trump
and
to
you,
do.
Whether you realize it, we're very hands-on individuals. So, I mean, some of these still, like, I'm more, like, leaning towards the right more than anything, but I didn't have a desire to go to college and stuff like that out of high school. I would have liked to.
Well, I don't believe you need a college. You learn half of these classes in college are completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you want to be...
But if you want to get...
But let's say you want to be in, like, a field like communications.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to have all these classes that are completely irrelevant? Like, if you want to focus on production, TV, radio, whatever it is, just focus on those classes. You don't have to do all these philosophy classes or all these math classes. Just focus on what's important to that field.
Mm-hmm. Another thing was
That's where I stand on it.
a lot of employers now are trying to get away from a college degree requirement
I agree.
because
There's
it's
no need
creating
for a degree. I
it's
mean,
creating this
for
this,
some
this
jobs, but
student,
there's no need to require it for almost every job.
yeah, and that's creating this student debt crisis that our parents never really had.
Yeah, because
And
everyone's
then
forced
it's
to
like
go to
now
college.
it's like the employers were in with it as well, and the universities as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that needs to get reshaped.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw how flawed it was.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Did you say happy birthday to David Mendoza?
I sure did, man. How's it going, Mr. Mendoza?
He's probably watching.
He probably is.
Yeah, he's probably watching. So another thing I like about this new incoming Trump administration is it looks like he's going to clean house. But he has for someone that hates women, apparently, has hired a lot of women for his cabinet.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
He
Also,
hates women, but let's hire them all.
They criticized his pick for Secretary of Defense.
And who was that?
Pete Hegseth.
I like that pick, honestly.
So he's actually a major or a colonel in the Minnesota National Guard, and he fought in Iraq, and he's a reporter.
Yeah.
So that's like the best of both worlds. Because his last pick for when he was his first administration was General Mattis.
And Trump learned a lot. He learned from his first administration to now, and so I think he's choosing the right people.
Yeah.
Of course, I just got to give him credit for choosing J.D. Vance as his vice president because that guy,
he's great.
That guy can run for president one day, maybe 2028.
Yes, he's young.
But in 2028, I'm hoping to see Tulsi Gabbard, the first woman president in the history of this country.
Or something.
That's what I want to see.
And Tulsi Gabbard, she's another heavy military person as well.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, we have to have a woman president." No,
I'd rather see
Kamala.
her.
I'd rather see Tulsi.
AOC or freaking
the bartender.
Kamala.
AOC the bartender.
Yeah.
And then you know who I also like? Marco Rubio has come full circle from being against Trump in 2016 to truly
I noticed that
embracing the Trump effect.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I'm glad he. What else did Trump do so far?
Well, it looks like there's going to be peace deals coming back. I don't know if you saw those.
Biden's trying to throw a last. And did you see how happy Biden was when Trump visited him?
Yeah, I'm going to put this out there now. It could be true. Well, first of all, Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady, on Election Day wears red. What does that say? And then you could go back to prior days or prior months, President Biden puts on the Trump 2024 hat. I've never seen him, and at the press conference, I've never seen Joe Biden so happy.
He's probably ready to get out of that White House. I'm like,
no, or he's happy that Trump won. Because remember, they forced him out.
Yeah.
No one voted for Kamala to be the nominee in the primaries. No one voted for Kamala. Everyone voted for Joe Biden. The Democrats, they voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
In the primary. And they basically forced him out of there, thinking that Kamala would have a better chance to beat Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But Donald Trump still won. And when you watched election night and you see him up big, I think it was like 99 to 20 something at one point. That was just pretty cool because I knew it was over. Trump had this election in the bag.
Yes.
And he won the election the day of July 13th with this iconic moment.
And
That's
did
when
you
that's when he won the election.
and did you see what happened in Pennsylvania?
In regards to
So basically, the Amish, I
the
guess,
Amish voted Trump.
the Amish voted Trump, and they usually don't vote, is what I've heard.
So what does that tell you?
So a
About
bunch
the
of these Amish, like 80,000 Amish people, went to the polls, and they voted
But what
Trump
does
because
that
the
tell you
last
about
4 years,
What does that tell you about the state of the country, Shane?
they, what does that tell you?
Yeah, it tells you a
It
lot.
means it sucked for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
It freaking sucked.
All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we have much more to get to with Shane McKenna coming to you live from Colorado. We're talking some politics. He's at the Mount Rushmore. He's been there actually, so maybe we'll get into the
5-hour
conversation.
drive away from where I'm at.
We'll get into that conversation a little bit to see how Mount Rushmore was for Shane. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. The Doug Strava Show is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We got Shane McKenna, ladies and gentlemen, on Dougie's Political Hour. We'll be right back. Say about the AFC South. So I think
There was something interesting to say about that.
Early, they weren't expected to have that 13-game win streak like they did last year.
This is the gift that God has given me to be able to help.
Thanks to the Democrats.
I'm not.
Am I correct?
you
Why,
are correct.
why blame? Why you're
I have a question for Carolyn. Carolyn, hold on. I have a question for you. All right, we are back on the Doug Strava Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. All right, Shane, so Mount Rushmore. People are going to be like, why are we talking travel? No, we're not talking travel. This is political since there's presidents on there.
Yeah.
Shane, let's see if you can name all the presidents on there besides Donald John Trump.
Okay, we got George Washington, the first one, Thomas Jefferson,
Okay.
Theodore Roosevelt, and then Abe Lincoln. Now, why? People are like, why Theodore Roosevelt on there?
Yeah, do you happen to know the backstory of why each president's on there?
I forget, but
Well, George Washington probably because he was the
no,
first
George
president.
Washington because he found the country.
Yeah, and he was the first president of the United States.
Thomas Jefferson because of the Declaration of Independence,
Okay.
and then Theodore Roosevelt because he expanded the country,
Okay.
and then Abe Lincoln for unifying the country.
And probably for freeing the slaves.
Yeah, but he unified. So the goal of the Civil War was to unify the country and to free the slaves and other stuff, but to kind of because it was divided because the North and the South,
Yeah.
and that unified everything. But Theodore Roosevelt, I love Theodore Roosevelt. I feel like I don't know, but Donald Trump reminds me of a modern day Theodore Roosevelt.
I guess you could make that argument.
So Theodore Roosevelt got shot in. All these presidents always get shot for something.
Yeah, a lot.
They want to take him down.
Ronald Reagan got shot.
Ronald Reagan. So basically, Theodore Roosevelt had this speech. It was like a thick, long speech, like this thick. And I guess the assassin tried to shoot him, and he shot where the speech was, and he delivered the speech after he got shot. So, and Theodore Roosevelt founded a lot of the national parks where I like to explore, and that's why I specifically like to go to these spots.
Yeah.
It's an American thing to do.
And you said it's what, 5 hours away?
Yeah, it's only 5. It's a 5-hour drive for me.
That's
Five or 6 hour drive.
That's not bad.
And
All right,
so another thing was the creator of Mount Rushmore. His name was Gutzon Borglum.
Yeah.
He's the man who created Mount Rushmore.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then, Shane, we're going to do a quiz, a 2024 political quiz. to see where you align within the candidates. So we're going to do that right after this quick commercial break. The Doug Strabo Show is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. Dougie and Shane will be right back on Dougie's Political Hour. We'll be right back. And more episodes coming soon. Should have Carolyn on. We should have Jim on, Luis on. So we're looking forward for more political hour episodes. We'll be right back.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people, even people.
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather.
I'll be looking for another job after this is over. I can tell you that.
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that.
Why did Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So,
Talk whatever we want.
It's sports. Well, I'll tell you,
no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Strabo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may not want, but you may just need. All right, Shane, this is it. This is the 2024 political quiz.
All right.
I just want to see where you stand on some of these issues. All right, let's see what we got. So the first question is, should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases?
No, I heard some of these vaccines cause autism.
I heard that too, but I can't confirm that. Do you support the use of nuclear energy?
Yes, because it's cleaner. Believe it or not, those so on the when you see like a nuclear plant, those smokestacks, that's just steam.
Yeah.
It's not bad energy. It's basically cleaner energy. Like a coal plant, that's like it pollutes the air. But all those smokestacks that are nuclear plants, steam.
All right. So your answer is yes. Okay. Should the government allow the commercialization of lab-grown meat?
No.
All right.
I want to be able to eat real freaking meat.
All right. Technological issues. Should the government mandate that large tech companies share the algorithms with regulators?
What does that mean?
What's algorithm? Let's see. We could go to other stances. I'll look. I gotta find that. Hold on. So it's a process or a set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations. So I guess companies have to share their regulations with regulators.
I don't know. I'm going with yes, but I don't really know about that one. I'm unsure.
I'll go with yes for you. Should the government implement stricter regulations on the use of cryptocurrencies?
What do you think? What's your opinion, Doug?
I don't think the government should have any regulations on cryptocurrencies.
Nah.
Should artists be held to the same reporting and disclosure requirements as hedge funds, mutual funds, and public companies when selling their artwork?
Should artists say it again? Read it again.
Should artists be held to the same reporting and disclosure requirements as hedge funds, mutual funds, and public companies when selling their artwork?
No, I mean, I don't know.
All right, let's go to environmental issues. Should the government fund research into geoengineering as a way to combat climate change?
Yes. Geoengineering, like,
Interesting. Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change? Do you believe in climate change? And would
I
you
do.
regulate that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Should the U.S. withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement?
No. That's another thing. Here's a I mean, I do like Trump, but his stance on climate change is kind of weak. And that's
why it's interesting to take this quiz, because you'll see who you side with and where you disagree with the candidates. Like for me,
yeah.
I agree with Trump on 80% of things.
Yes, like his economic policies, I totally 100% agree on. But his environmental policies, I feel like, and his social policies, but we kind of want to work on economic policies before we can work on those policies.
See, I don't believe the president. This is how I feel. I do not believe the president is responsible for social change. That's up to your local government. That's up to you. That's up to you. That's up to you. That's up to I.
Yeah.
Should the technology of our financial system transition to a decentralized protocol that is not owned or controlled by any corporation, similar to the internet?
What?
I'm not really sure. We have other stances. Yes, but only if it's truly decentralized and cannot be manipulated by any person, group, or government agency.
I'm going to go with no or yes. Freaking no for that one.
Should the U.S. raise taxes on the rich?
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming from a guy with his own house.
Well, I don't even. I might own the house, but you know, I let my parents live in it. You know, I've lost. My mom and dad lost their house. You know, that was rough.
Should the government? I don't think they want you saying that on the internet. But should the government raise the federal minimum wage?
My stance on the minimum wage is it's like kind of like a job at McDonald's is not a career. It's like a starter job.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be there your whole freaking life. You know,
you don't.
It's like I worked at a McDonald's when I was in my teenage years, and then I got out of it. You know, I know I was like, you know, and then I got into a different career that is somewhere that's going to take me somewhere. But
oh yeah,
you know, like Costco kind of. Well, since I worked at Costco, I was able to go. I'm able to work in Colorado now. You know.
Yeah, but those jobs are meant to have pay raises.
Yeah.
Minimum wage jobs are starter jobs, a second job, a college job.
Yeah.
Like, I support the minimum wage being where it's at. If you want to make money, get a better job. That's how I
don't support the minimum wage. Yeah, just go find a different job.
All right, so your answer is no.
And we need different people for different jobs all over, because these blue collar jobs they're harder, and you know I don't want to be paying X amount of dollars for a Big Mac. You know what I'm saying, after a long day at work.
Yeah. All right, so politicians over 75 years of age have required to pass a mental competency test.
Should
they take them? Yeah.
Yes, they need to take a mental test, because they just
and
have too many.
That goes for Trump. That goes for Biden.
Yeah.
Should the Electoral College be abolished, meaning goodbye?
No.
No, I agree. Should a photo ID be required to vote?
Well, yes, because I had a little tricky time voting out here because I was an out-of-stater and I was trying to have my I was able to wanted to vote in Colorado
Yeah.
because I moved during an election year.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to put in my vote. So,
All right, you're going to like these questions. Should the government require all new cars to be electric or hybrid by a certain date? Should they be hybrid or electric?
Hybrid. More hybrid vehicles.
So you believe the government should have say over that?
I mean, I have a gas vehicle right now currently.
But do you want the government telling you it needs to be electric?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, no.
Should the government implement stricter emission standards for diesel vehicles?
Should the government? I want a diesel truck, but I don't know.
Would you want the government telling you what to do with your car or anything?
I mean,
that's what the question states.
I
Like
don't know.
trying to save the planet.
Yeah.
I think you lean more left.
I don't know, man.
We'll
but
find out. Should the government impose stricter fuel efficiency standards on vehicles? Like, do you believe the government should impose stricter fuel efficiency standards on vehicles?
Like
your truck. Do you want them telling you the truck has to
go a certain amount of miles?
Something like that.
I mean, they should upgrade the tech each year and stuff. Like, I don't want to go like 10 miles per gallon, and stuff
So
like that.
do you believe the government should have stricter impose that measure of how far a vehicle can travel on a certain amount of fuel?
Yeah, I mean.
All right.
I guess.
All right, next question. Yep. All right, let's see what we got. Should illegal immigrants have access to government subsidized health care?
Nope.
Should the U.S. build a wall?
Yep.
I want to know where you lean. It may have you as in between. Should undocumented immigrants be offered in-state tuition rates at public colleges within their residing state?
Hell no. No. I haven't got any of that stuff, so they shouldn't get it either.
All right. Should funding for local police departments be redirected to a social and community-based programs?
No, well, I think we need like a police force to police some of these places out here, and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Should police departments be allowed to use military-grade equipment?
I don't buy into that one. Like militarized police, I don't like that idea. I want them.
Yeah, you want them to be the way they've been.
Yeah, like a police. Like I want the if say the National Guard. You don't want the police becoming the National Guard. That's the National Guard's job.
Yeah. So do you support mandatory minimum prison sentences for people charged with drug possession?
What does it say again?
Do you support mandatory minimum prison sentences for people charged with drugs?
I mean, there's a ton of people in the prison system that's just got a low-level marijuana offense. But if you got, like, say, methamphetamine and cocaine you're dealing and stuff like that, yeah, that's a minimum sentence. But I don't know. The marijuana, it just needs to get normalized, kind of. Like Colorado is a state where it's legal to
do
it out here, but other states haven't gotten on board with it quite yet.
So, domestic policy. Should there be more restrictions on the current process of buying a gun?
Should there be more restrictions?
When it
No.
comes to buying a gun?
No.
Should teachers be allowed to carry guns?
Yes.
Now, should victims of gun violence be allowed to sue firearms dealers and manufacturers?
No, because it's the person that's using the gun. It's not the firearm people.
All right, social issues. Stance on abortion.
Fuck, I hate this question. I hate this question.
You have many choices.
What's the choices?
Pro-life, pro-choice, pro-life, and I also oppose abortion for victims of rape and incest. Pro-life, but allow in cases of rape, incest, or danger to the mother. Pro-choice, but ban after the first 3 months. Where do you stand?
Oh, fuck.
You don't have to answer. But
I don't want to answer.
I'm just going by the quiz.
I don't want to answer that one.
Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood?
Planned Parenthood. What's Planned Parenthood again? I forget.
Go back to the last question. We could skip these. If you feel
Yeah, I
uncomfortable.
don't know. I'm not a woman, so that's why I don't feel comfortable with that question.
All right, so you just want me to put pro-choice?
Pro-choice, yeah, pro-choice.
Okay. And I'll give you these answers.
Health insurance, what is it?
Or for free birth control.
Yeah, I believe in that one.
National security issues. Should the government use facial recognition technology for mass surveillance to enhance public safety?
I mean, what do you think, Doug?
I think in some cases, yes, but not always.
I'll go with yes.
Should the president be able to authorize military force against Al-Qaeda without congressional approval?
Al-Qaeda, man. We haven't fought him in years.
I know, but that's just a question.
Should the president be able to authorize military force? Yeah. I believe it.
All right. Should the president mobilize the U.S. military against Mexican drug cartels?
Hell yeah. I feel like it's like the cartels have just gotten
worse and worse.
A little out of hand now, and now these Venezuelan gangs are kind of getting a little bad now too as well.
Mm-hmm. Should the government implement rent control policies to limit the amount landlords can charge for rent?
Yes. Because we have a housing crisis and we need people to live.
Mm-hmm. Should the government incentivize the construction of affordable housing?
Yes, because the housing situation in America is just hasn't been good for years.
All right, next question. Should new housing developments be required to include green spaces and parks?
Yes.
I think you're more leftist. Not full, like in the middle. We'll see.
In the middle, man, in the middle.
Should the federal government increase funding of health care for low-income individuals, Medicaid?
No.
Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare?
Nope.
Should the government require employees of large businesses to be vaccinated from COVID?
No, I don't believe that. Yeah, I never even took a COVID shot at all.
Do you support increasing taxes for the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans?
How the hell is that gonna?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You'll put no. Should the federal government pay for tuition at four-year colleges and universities? Should college be free?
No, because then it shouldn't be free because it would devalue the value of the education.
Should critical race theory be taught in K through 12 education?
Hell no.
All right, next question. Should the government increase or decrease military spending?
Here's my take on military spending. After traveling around America, we got a friggin' fortress we're frickin' sitting on, man. They need to tone it down on military spending, I feel.
So you disagree with that with Trump?
So, why does Trump want to bring it up?
I think so. He wants to build the bigger and better military and the best in the world.
Well, here's my take on that. It's like our country's landscape is very impenetrable. Like, we got the Rocky Mountains, like, so that's where I'm like, we do have like a strong Navy. We already have the world's largest Navy.
Yeah.
You know, all the Americans are armed, you know? It's like, how much more?
Basically, yeah.
So like, how much more guns and equipment hardware can you get?
Mm-hmm. So should the U.S. continue to support Israel?
Whatchamacallit? Didn't they invade Hezbollah or?
But should the U.S. support Israel? Because there's the issue with Palestinians and and the Israel people.
I have no idea anymore after the past 4 years.
All right, so I'll leave that blank. Should the United States provide military supplies and funding to Ukraine? And this is where I disagree. We should not give money to Ukraine.
No,
stop
because
foreign aid. That's where I stand.
How many other countries?
Stop giving our tax money. Stop giving our money to foreign countries.
We need to stop. Yeah, we need to stop.
America first.
America first for a little bit, and Ukraine should get some money from, say, United Kingdom, France, or some other.
Why are we the ones paying? Money
we're
to
like
other countries?
Way far away.
Why is it always the United States of America that gets ripped off?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see where you are. All right, these are just interesting questions. You don't really have to. All right, we're going to see what Shane is when it comes to politics.
I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, man, I better not be a liberal.
Imagine.
I better not be a liberal.
Imagine after all these years of voting for Trump, Shane is a liberal. Done. Let's see.
After all these years, I'm a liberal.
All right, 62% Republican, Shane.
What is it?
62% Republican. 53% no
I can't
label.
hear you. You're breaking up.
That might be your phone. 60. It says it right there. You're 62% Republican.
All right. Okay, good. So
Election-wise, if you would vote for Ron DeSantis.
Florida man, the king of the Florida people.
All right, so that's who these are your presidential candidates. 79% Ron DeSantis, 77% Larry Hogan, 76%.
He's the governor of Maryland, right?
I think so. 76%.
Yeah, I was born in Maryland, so.
Nice. 76% with Chase Oliver, 74% Andrew Yang, 74% Donald Trump, 73% Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro is a friggin' debater, man.
And this is 2024. So, yeah, you're more of an independent, Shane, because right here, 77% Robert Kennedy,
mm-hmm.
and then 70% Donald Trump.
Yeah. I'm in the middle somewhere, but I want the middle ground, but and that's why people, because I get attacked by the liberals.
And then in New Jersey, you would have voted for Ken Kaplan, 81% libertarian.
What the hell's that guy?
And then 70% J.D. Vance.
All right, good.
Oh, the first one is actually the 2028 election. So you would
Okay.
want that. Who would run?
Who is running in 2028? We're not there yet. So
Well, we could talk. Oh, there you are. National liberalism.
what's liberalism?
Liberal.
No, I'm not.
That's what the test said, Shane. Come on.
Fuck, that test is a liar.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to wrap up talking about who we want to see run in 2028. And we can maybe think of our own ticket. We'll be right back.
Especially going back to Columbus downtown.
Why? They were horrible this.
Oh, Malibu at the diner.
These leaders of these countries.
Going for the Super Bowl. That
hold
little
on,
hope
hold on,
going to the Super
hold
Bowl.
on, because that's not what Roger said. Roger said, I just care about winning the MVP. I don't care about winning.
No matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
And I was like, oh god, how do I stop this? So I
Look at that water behind me, James.
Jesus says in the scripture, they need to live their experience of their own.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Doug Strabo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. All right, Shane, happening now, baby. Who is going to run in 2028, big guy?
JD Vance. JD Vance is going to carry Trump's legacy.
Yeah.
He has to kind of pass it on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking his competition is going to be Kamala or AOC.
AOC, come on.
I don't know.
What a clown.
I know.
Not you. I'm talking about AOC.
I know.
All right, so for the 2028 election, Shane, the person that I would like to see run, and I think after serving in the Trump administration, I think she sets herself up to be the first ever woman president in the history of this country.
Tulsi Gabbard.
And that's Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, vote for Kamala. We need a woman president. Oh, how can you not want a woman president?
Yeah, like if you
I
do
have
the
no
woman-
problem with the woman president, but I want Tulsi Gabbard. Kamala Harris is not the answer. I just hate to say it, but she's not the answer.
Yeah.
Never was, never will be. Well, she never will because she lost.
Yeah. I mean,
And if I had to set up a VP ticket for Tulsi, I think it could be JD, or maybe if Tulsi's not ready yet, do a JD Vance presidency with a Tulsi Gabbard vice presidency. That's who I see that's what I think could run for 2028. Now on the Democratic side, I think Gavin Newsom will probably run.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris will probably run again. But I want to
a lot of
Shane,
these
I
states.
don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, a lot of these states are trying to Trump-proof their states now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like California is.
Democratic side, well, what I actually want to see is what RFK does. Does he try to run as a Republican? Because he ran as an independent. He wanted to run as a Democrat, but that didn't work out because I don't think he got enough votes, or they put Biden in for the primary.
Yeah.
So I would like to see what happens there. I think RFK could get into the White House one day. I think he could be a nominee. Is it going to happen? I'm not sure.
Like, I'm afraid. I really hope RFK would do it because.
I think he would.
But he needs to. Since he's going to be in Trump's cabinet now. Whatchamacallit, he's going to unravel some shit that they did to his family over the years.
Yeah, he probably exposed some of it.
He's going to expose it, and
Like,
I hope.
And then I think Marco Rubio could be a guy. Ted Cruz, probably Ron DeSantis. The one person that I do not want to see run again is Chris Christie.
Oh, no, man.
I don't want Christie to run again. I just don't.
The way he handled, I don't know, Doug. What do you think?
He is the most anti-Trumper.
Yeah, because
he's
like
anti-Trump, like hardcore anti-Trump.
He was the senator he was the governor of New Jersey.
A lot of people say he was the worst governor in New Jersey.
Yeah, because the way he was, he didn't handle Hurricane Sandy right.
And I think Phil Murphy may run. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Not him.
I wouldn't want him, but he could run.
Our governor in Colorado, his name is Jared Polis.
Yeah.
And he's the first gay governor, homosexual, LGBT governor.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
But, yeah, I mean.
And remember, Donald Trump was the first president ever to put a gay man, or a gay woman, that is, in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Richard Grinnell. So, Trump is the diverse candidate. They like to say he hates all these types of people. But
now, even though I might live in Colorado, Doug,
yeah,
I prefer Wyoming.
You prefer Wyoming? Is it political?
Wyoming,
is it just travel? What is it, Shane?
Political wise, and I feel like, but Wyoming is not industrialized like Colorado is.
Yeah,
it's not, and it's very. So there's jobs in Colorado, and there's not a lot of jobs in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So, but I feel that Wyoming is a very conservative state. They call it the cowboy state,
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the crown jewel of the country where I went to the Teton Valley. But so even though I might live out here, I'm conservative. I don't lean with the lefts. So that's like my take on this.
Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may want, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, it will be our final thoughts segment. It could be politics. It could be life. Shane and his travels. Shane's ready for bed.
Yeah.
Well, it's only, 6:11 there? You got mountain time?
Yeah, we're on mountain time.
We will be right back.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to...
Or this town, things that haven't been done before.
Feel like it's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people,
Overpay for DeGrom, and
So I think this is a great way for us to gather some
I'll be looking for another job after this is over, I can tell you that.
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that...
Why did Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So,
talk whatever we want.
It's sports. Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
going for the Super Bowl.
Hold on, because that's not what Roger said. Roger said, I just care about winning the MVP. I don't care about winning.
No matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
And I was like, oh God, how do I stop this? So I
Look at that water behind me, James.
Jesus says in the scripture, they need to live their experience of their own.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube, Facebook Live, Serravo Broadcasting, the Doug Serravo Show. Thank you for supporting the Doug Serravo Show, Serravo Broadcasting, and all those involved with Serravo Broadcasting. This is Dougie's Political Hour, and we got our friend and once in a while guest, but he's been on the last few episodes, Shane McKenna. Shane, what's on your mind as we finish this episode? Could be anything. It doesn't have to be political. Day one of the Trump administration.
Presidency, yes.
And I want you to take a listen to this thought. Good thing Trump did not win in 2020. Because
honestly, yeah.
It exposed a lot to us. It exposed a lot. How the government is, how the establishment is.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of people woke up. Because if you look at this election, he won every single swing state.
Yes.
Everyone was saying, oh, this is close. This is going to be tight race. We may not know for days. Well, we found out at 2:30 in the morning he won every single swing state. So what does that tell you? A lot of people woke up. And if you look at the map, Trump won a lot of counties compared to Vice President Harris.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's and I was talking about that with my father too, and he was like, they stole the election, the last one, and he kept telling me, oh, it's a movie, like, oh, just let it play out, let the 4 years run its course, and you'll see what these Democrats are doing. Yeah. You'll see what they're doing to with the inflation, the gas prices. Just the overall cost of living went up, like mass exodus from states and stuff. Even parts of, like, even though California is trying to Trump-proof its state, parts of California are red.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Parts of California are red.
Look at Jersey. Jersey almost became red.
Yeah, and like most of upstate New York is red. It's just New York City is blue. So it makes it a blue state. You see me go to one of the truck shows, and they're all up there routing around, and stuff like that. They're all conservative upstate New Yorkers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a lot of the political, like the certain states that are considered left leaning, they have some red conservative in them.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this episode, what's on your mind? Doesn't have to be political.
Could be
travel. Could make it fun. What's the next state you want to go to?
I want to go to Montana.
So what states have you been to since you moved out to Colorado?
So I went to South Dakota, Wyoming, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, drove through Kansas, drove through Missouri, drove through Indiana, drove through Ohio. What else? Kansas is flat nothingness, man.
Yeah.
It's honestly, bro, it's considered the most boring state in America, and it's next door. Oh, and I went through Nebraska. I drove through Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of these I kind of skipped the Midwest because it's not really the most appealing part of the United States.
That's pretty cool, Shane.
Yeah.
All right, Shane, thank you for coming on. This is a great episode. I look forward to speaking to you again. If you want to stay on the line after we log off, feel free, and we'll catch up. All right. See everybody next time.